Right now at 5, a former Neosho County, Kansas attorney pleads guilty in a court to a pair of charges.
After a warm day today, we do have some rain chances in the forecast.
Plus, some businesses in downtown Pittsburgh feel a financial impact due to construction issues.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowe.
And I'm Lindsay Gaffney.
Yes, and it's just past the halfway mark for the week and the first full week of September.
There you go. Yep.
Can't believe that it's already here. I don't even want to say it.
I'm happy it's here. I am over the hot temperatures. I am so excited for the cooler temperatures. Speaking of, we've got some cooler temperatures in the forecast after a pretty warm day today. So if we go ahead, take a look outside, we can see downtown Pittsburgh looking pretty dead out there, but today getting up to mid to upper 80s, even low 90s in some areas. Not expecting any kind of rain chances until later on this evening. So it's going to be mostly sunny today. As you can see, not even any clouds. It was really pretty. I saw a lot of stars this morning getting into work today. Temperatures right now about 65 degrees, but it's going to continue to cool down as we get into a little bit further in the morning. We'll see our lowest temperature about 7 a.m., about 62 degrees, and then starting to warm up by about 10, 11 a.m. in the upper 70s. So not so cold, but not so warm, but not so cold either. We also have these isolated shower chances starting later on this evening. Very isolated, not expecting a lot of accumulation, but it will be dropping temperatures even further than what they already are. So right now we're seeing about average temperatures today, yesterday, but after a very weak cold front moves in, you can see upper level low pressure system up in Canada drapes that cold front across our area, moving across. A few showers, isolated showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm or two. Again, very weak, not strong, so not seeing any strong storms, but we will see a drop in temperatures after the front passes. Then temperatures in the lower 80s, even upper 70s for the weekend. I'll have those details coming up.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. The former Neosho County, Kansas attorney Linus Thuston gets a jail sentence after pleading guilty yesterday to criminal charges. Thuston pleaded guilty to misuse of public funds and a sales tax violation, both misdemeanors. The misuse of public funds charge requires a forfeiture of office. Thuston resigned from his position on August 13th. Now, the judge in the case sentenced Thuston to 120 days in jail with a possibility for parole after 30 days. He must also pay a $2,500 fine and more than $600 in restitution. Well, a new abuse law is filed against Circle of Hope. It includes the youngest victim to take legal action against the Christian boarding school near Humansville, Missouri. The lawsuit states that from 2019 to 2020, the 13-year-old suffered extreme physical and sexual abuse. She reports being restrained, beaten, forced to stand facing a wall, reading the Bible, and not speaking or moving for days on end. A therapist and fellow survivor talked about the strength it takes to come forward.
There's power in that, and the more of us who stand behind her and stand with her, it's going to be a little easier to heal, but she's got a long road ahead of her.
The criminal trial against school co-founder Stephanie Householder starts next month. Another founder, Boyd Householder, died earlier this summer of a heart attack. Well, to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, construction on the Block 22 area of Pittsburgh is tearing into some business owners' funds. Some say they had to take on additional jobs because customers are no longer coming by due to the distractions. A Pitt State spokesperson says there is also falling cement due to age of the building. And she also says the safety of the students and community comes first.
Has affected our sales a lot. We were down quite a bit last month from our sales than the previous 2 years. So we do know that people are just hesitant to come in, but
Some owners say this is the wrong time for construction because this is a potentially big time for their revenues. Well, a Missouri woman is cycling more than 700 miles to raise awareness for overdose prevention after she lost her brother to fentanyl poisoning. KOAM's Melissa Alexis spoke with Jeanette Krupp about her moving journey.
It destroys your family. You're sad, you're upset.
Jeanette Krupp's brother, Carl, was traveling home on a Greyhound bus from Amarillo, Texas to Owensville, Missouri, when he tragically passed away from a fentanyl overdose.
I decided to switch my route that I have usually done to starting in Amarillo, and it's called Carl's Last Ride because I'm bringing him back home to where he was planning to go but never made it.
Along her ride, which included a stop in Joplin, she's giving Narcan to gas stations, stores, restaurants, and educating people on how to use it. She says if Narcan was on the bus her brother was on, he may still be alive today.
There's a lot of overdoses or fentanyl poisonings happening at gas stations, so I'm handing out Narcan anywhere that I can, even people on the street that are just walking. I talk to them, we share stories, everyone has a story.
According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, more than 100,000 people died from a drug overdose in 2022 in the United States. She hopes to help remove the stigma surrounding addiction that could prevent someone from reaching out.
The stigma is the main problem. There's still, so many people that don't even want to talk about it, to act like it's not happening. The embarrassment, and we have to get past that. So in order for us to ever fix this, we're going to have to get past that.
You are not alone. That's the message she wants families to hear while she raises awareness to prevent more tragedies. Reporting in Joplin, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Now, so far, she's cycled 500 miles of the 700 total miles. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Andy Reid and Travis Kelce preview the Chiefs' season opener against the Ravens. We'll have the details. Plus, a new study says the world pumps out 57 million tons of plastic pollution every year. And we have a hot and sunny day today. We'll have what to expect with Lindsay Gaffney in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. State football's win over Ferris State on Saturday took place in week 0. So there are still several teams across Division II that have yet to play their first contest of the season. So the Division II coaches poll doesn't get updated this week. However, D2Football.com releases its updated top 25 after week 0 action. The Gorillas opened the year as the number 4 team in this poll, and they move up to 3 after taking down Ferris State. MIAA foe Central Missouri is number 2 in this poll. The Mules haven't played a game yet, and neither has defended national champion Harding, who's in first. Well, tonight, the Chiefs kick off the 2024 NFL season against the Ravens at Arrowhead. Now, Kansas City is trying to become the first team in the NFL history to win 3 consecutive Super Bowls and is still learning about what's different with this year's group.
It's exciting. It's the first game of the season. Everybody wants to come out and show how explosive they are, show how great or how much better they got from last year. And it's just a great opportunity to be going up against such a great team.
Yeah, we'll see what goes. I'm not sure what to anticipate or expect. So, but we'll see how it all works out. You got 2 good special teams going against each other. Plus, John's got a ton of experience there. So, we'll just see how it rolls.
And you still have time to enter our Pigskin Preview Sweepstakes, which offers you a chance to win 2 tickets to a regular season Chiefs game at Arrowhead when the 2-time defending Super Bowl champs face the Las Vegas Raiders on November 29th. You also get a parking pass and a $100 check. To enter, just scan the QR code on your screen and navigate to the tab that says Pigskin Sweepstakes. Well, now to Major League Baseball. The Cardinals and Royals both wrap up important series yesterday evening. The Royals beat the Guardians last night 4-1, and this snaps what was a 7-game losing streak for Kansas City. Seth Lugo gets the win on the mound after throwing 7 innings, allowing just 1 run. The Royals score all 4 of their runs in the 4th inning, and that's an important victory for the playoff race. As we take a look at the American League wild card race, before last night's game, the Royals are in possession of that 3rd and final wild card spot with a 4.5 game lead on the rest of the field. Again, last night's win should help that. Now the Cardinals win last night as well, and they take down the division leading Brewers 3-2 in extra innings. Luken Baker gets the game-winning RBI single in the top of the 10th. On the playoff race, the Cardinals have a little bit more work to do. They're 11 games back of the Brewers in the division. And here is the National League wild card race. The Cards are 5.5 games behind the Braves for the final spot in the postseason. Well, still to come, hear why the latest batch of COVID shots cost up to $200 for people with no insurance. Plus, a check of the 7-day forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Well, taking a look outside downtown Pittsburgh, still not so much going on out there, pretty early, but clear skies. So if you do go out, you're going to see a lot of stars out there. We don't have any clouds rolling in until later on this evening. So most of the day today is going to be pretty sunny. Now, when we started our day, it's going to be a low of about 62, 63 degrees. So pretty cool, but actually about average for this time of year, but warming up to upper 70s by about 10 a.m. and by noon we're in the 80s. So we're seeing high temperatures today in the upper 80s, low 90s. Dew points are going to be pretty low still though, even though temperatures are warmer. So we're still going to be in that refreshing, pleasant, maybe even not bad range. Definitely a lot cooler and drier, but we do have some cooler temperatures in the forecast. So today, like I said, getting up to the upper 80s, low 90s, high of about 89, 90 in Joplin, 90 Veneta, 91 in Sedan. So across the area, our highest temperature looks like Stockton, 92. Across the area, about 89 to about 92. So definitely a bit above average for this time of year, but not so far. Then tonight, we do have a weak cold front moving through, although the temperatures don't really reflect that until tomorrow. So our overnight lows tonight, upper 60s, low 70s still. You can see 69 out in Pittsburgh, 66 in Iola, 70 in Joplin, probably a bit cooler, and about 65 in Anderson. But after the showers pass and the front passes, our highs tomorrow only getting up to about 82 out in Joplin, 79 in Iola and Yates Center, only 83 in Jay, Bella Vista. Definitely a lot cooler as we move into the weekend. But those rain chances starting about 9 p.m. Very isolated. It's only 20% chance, and that's going to continue through the overnight hours and into early tomorrow morning, continuing until about 11 a.m. So you can expect tonight our lows, like I said, about 68 to 70 degrees. So upper 60s, low 70s for our low tonight, because temperatures aren't really cooling until after the front has fully passed, which doesn't happen until Friday morning. But we're going to get some isolated showers after about 9 p.m. tonight, and winds are picking up after they shift out of the north, so behind the front. Until then, it's going to be a really nice day today. Temperatures getting up to the upper 80s, low 90s, and then as we move into this evening, we're going to see that front starting to drape across our northwestern counties. Yates Center might get a strong thunderstorm, not severe at all. This is a very weak front, weak forcing, so we're not seeing a lot going on. But as it passes, a few isolated showers starting to push in. This is about 11:30 tonight, so closer to midnight. These showers are going to continue to the central counties, maybe dissipating, moving off to the east, but then behind the front, another round of isolated showers starting to kick off in the morning hours on Friday. So this is about 7 a.m. and then continuing until about 10 to 11. Then our highs, like I said, only getting up to the mid 80s, but we're going to see those winds picking up as well, gusting up to 20-25 miles per hour through most of the day on Friday. And then temperatures this weekend, 79 degrees on Saturday, 80 on Sunday. Unfortunately, a warm up is in the forecast, but we'll be back with more news after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning. A new form of nicotine is skyrocketing in popularity among Gen Zers, and most adults are unable to identify it. Small packets known as nicotine pouches are the newest way younger Americans are using nicotine. Widely available, they're a lot easier to hide than vaping or smoking. The little pouches are filled with fruit-flavored powder containing nicotine and other chemicals, meant to be tucked between the lip and gums. They are often undetectable when used in class, at work, or at home. As the product trends, a new survey shows only 25% of adults could identify one of these nicotine pouches out of its container or packaging. Experts are concerned growing usage among teens and younger generations could lead to future tobacco use and nicotine addiction. The latest batch of COVID shots are out, but be prepared to pay up if you don't have health insurance. That's because the federal program that covered the cost of the vaccines for uninsured and underinsured people ran out of funding. The federal Bridge Access program was set to end this December, but it expired early because of a move by Congress. They rescinded $6.1 billion in COVID emergency spending as part of a deal to avoid a government shutdown. Congress also blocked a Biden administration proposal that would provide free immunizations. Now, the roughly 25 million Americans who are without health insurance will pay up to $200 for the shots. Now, Pfizer and Moderna said free vaccines would be available through a patient assistance program, but it's still unclear who would qualify for the free shots. Well, about 1 in 50 people in the U.S. have had an unruptured brain aneurysm. According to the Brain Aneurysm Foundation, early detection is critical, as most are treatable, but some patients may be misdiagnosed when initially seeking medical attention. Mandy Gaither has the risk factor everyone should know in honor of Brain Aneurysm Awareness Month.
It's a spot on an artery in the brain that's weakened or thinned, causing it to bulge and fill with blood. Brain aneurysms are more common than you may know.
A lot of people potentially could be walking around and not even know that they have an aneurysm.
Neurosurgeon Dr. Mark Bain with Cleveland Clinic says not all aneurysms cause symptoms. Larger, steadily growing ones may cause pain above and behind the eye, numbness, weakness, paralysis on one side of the face, a dilated pupil in the eye, or vision changes. Bain says not all aneurysms need treatment.
A lot of aneurysms are actually fairly safe. People don't think they're safe, but the rupture rates are very, very low.
There are aneurysms that do pose a risk of rupture. Bain says those should be treated. When an aneurysm bursts, it's extremely dangerous and causes a sudden severe headache. Emergency medical attention is needed immediately.
That way they can stabilize you, make your blood, make sure your blood pressure is well controlled. And then typically they'll contact a place that can treat a brain aneurysm.
Bain says it's also important to know the risk factors, including family history of an aneurysm, untreated high blood pressure, cigarette smoking, and age. He says treatments have come a long way and can go in through a leg or wrist artery without an incision.
Patients wake up without any pain, and they're able to go home the next day.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
If you do have some of the risk factors for a brain aneurysm, Dr. Bain recommends undergoing screenings to see if you have one. And he says if you plan to get your aneurysm treated, go to a hospital that has multiple available treatment options. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Well, starting off this morning, temperatures are pretty cool, but we're warming up today just ahead of a weak cold front that's going to be moving in later on this evening, plus a few rain showers in the forecast. Until then, though, it's going to be a really great looking day.
Right now at 5:30, a Joplin business offers a cool fundraiser to benefit a cool cause.
A cool start to the morning actually leads to a bit warmer day today. We'll have more details later.
Plus, we'll meet the Joplin teen who started his own art club to teach others about his passion.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:29. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Lindsay Gaffney.
Yes, and it's Thursday here in the 4 states, September 5th today. I can't believe it's already September.
Time is flying by. I mean, with this 9 months I've been here, it doesn't even feel like that. That's crazy.
How about that? Yeah.
I am
We're
excited.
Almost to your 1 year mark, just a few more months.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. That's a crazy thought. But I am excited that it's September because I love the cooler temperatures. Taking a look outside downtown Pittsburgh right now, it's pretty cool. Down in the low 60s. Going to continue to drop a couple more degrees by about 7 a.m. Plus, temperatures warming up today. However, for the weekend, even cooler. Now, right now, we're not seeing much going on. Clear skies over in our area, but we do have more clouds moving in later on this evening, along with a few rain showers. But until then, temperatures out in the Joplin area, about 65 degrees, and surrounding counties not far off. We're looking pretty good. Like I said, though, today we are warming up a little bit more above average than what we've seen earlier this week, starting about 7 a.m., about 62, 63 degrees. So that's going to be our overnight low for this morning. And then warming up to nearly 80 degrees by about 11 a.m. Now, it's going to be sunny all day long, but like I said, we do have rain chances in the forecast later on this evening, starting as early as 9 p.m., continuing till the overnight hours. And again, early in the morning on Friday. So these rain chances are going to continue pretty intermittently, and we're not expecting any type of severe threat or heavy rainfall, but I'll have more details coming up.
All right, Lindsay, we'll see you soon. Well, the city of Humboldt, Kansas hosted a free car seat check event for the public yesterday. Families could visit the Pregnancy and Family Center to have the safety of their car seat checked by certified technicians. Those technicians also made sure car seats had been installed properly.
Contacted a lot of the clients throughout the week, and they were all very excited about coming in and getting their car seats checked. We had a couple of babies this morning that were too big for their seats, so we got them into new seats that fit properly now. So it's been a great morning.
The event was hosted by the Kansas Traffic Safety Resource Office. Well, Joplin Art Fest has a brand new feature for this year's festival, Art Fest Junior. Kids in kindergarten through 12th grade are invited to display and sell their original artwork during the festival, which takes place the 20th and 21st of this month at the Cornell Complex.
We've already have some little knitters and ceramists, people, youth making those types of things that have signed up. So we're excited to see what kind of imagination is in our next level of artists here in the area.
You can head over to KOAMnewsnow.com for more information on the Joplin Junior Art Fest. Now, registration is free, but space is limited. Well, a unique art show at the Joplin Public Library brings attention to eating disorders. The showcase, titled Reflections of Hunger, highlights the talents and experiences of 4-staters who've struggled with body image or eating disorders. The exhibit is free to the public, and it'll be on display today through October 24th. Well, a Joplin teen hopes to help share his love for art by holding a monthly art club. Drake May is only 13 years old, but he says he's been passionate about art for years. As a homeschooler, Drake was looking for more ways to socialize with other kids. This led him to create his own art club, where every month Drake helps teach a different art project. He's taught subjects such as self-portraits, painting, and sculpting. Now, the club is now going into its 4th year, and every meeting draws in dozens of kids of all ages.
Art can be a thing for all ages. It never gets boring. It never just stops. Your ideas just keep going, and you can express it all.
The art club meets on the first Wednesday of every month at the Joplin Public Library. You can learn more on our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. A local homeschool co-op group in Joplin learned about STEM yesterday at Pennington Station. The kids also got to learn a thing or two about bees. There were 4 classes on film, production, coding, Lego building, and beekeeping, taught by a local beekeeper.
More and more people are abandoning public schools because they don't feel it is doing their kids any justice, teaching them valuable life skills. And we believe here that STEM is the language of the future. And so we want to prepare them as best we can for the future.
Their final semester project will be to build a capital city out of Legos for a civilization they are creating. Well, Smoothie King gave Joplin residents a chance to stay cool yesterday while giving a boost to student athletes. The company hosted a fundraiser for the Joplin High School girls' fall sports program. 50% of all proceeds go to support the girls' softball, volleyball, tennis, and track teams.
And like equality is like something that's been implemented for years, and the recognition of women's sports that is on the rise as well, and so we just thought we'd be one of the forefront on that.
The goal for yesterday's fundraiser was a couple of $1,000s. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A lightning storm damages the Constantine Arch located near the Colosseum in Rome. Plus, Israeli forces have carried out the deadliest raid since the war began. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch. The world creates 57 million tons of plastic pollution every year. The word coming from a study in the journal Nature, where researchers say that amount of plastic is enough to fill New York City's Central Park as high as the Empire State Building. They found more than 2/3 of that pollution comes from the global south. And the team notes it's because there are fewer places in these regions where items can be recycled. Several studies have looked at how prevalent microplastics are in our drinking water and in people's muscle tissue. Doctors and scientists are still not quite sure what impact it has on our health. The United Nations projects plastic production is likely to rise, saying, quote, "Our planet is choking on plastic." Well, a zoo in Denmark is vaccinating animals against blue tongue disease after cases have been reported in the country. The Copenhagen Zoo has vaccinated nearly 70 animals that are potential carriers or susceptible to the insect-borne disease. Llamas, camels, reindeer, and cows are among the animals vaccinated so far. Now, the disease can be fatal to animals but is harmless to humans. Authorities say the virus has spread through Europe in the past few weeks, and cases have been reported in Denmark, Germany, the Netherlands, and France. Lightning struck the Constantine Arch located near the Colosseum in Rome, leading to some fragments breaking off the ancient landmark. The arch was established in 315 AD in a celebration of Emperor Constantine's victory. Workers from the Colosseum Archaeological Park gathered some of those pieces that fell off following Tuesday's storm. One American tourist also finding some of those pieces as she was touring the area, calling the moment surreal. Renfro later gave the pieces to the workers. Her tour guide says the act showed great sensitivity for Roman antiques. Well, Russian strikes kill at least 7 people and wound 52 in the Ukrainian city of Lviv yesterday. Video shows buildings destroyed, cars burnt, and rescue teams attending to victims of the attack. An overnight strike also wounded 5 people in the hometown of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. The attacks come a day after 2 missiles hit a military academy and a hospital in Poltava, killing more than 50 and wounding more than 200 people in one of the deadliest attacks since the start of the war. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba resigning Wednesday after Zelensky announced last week a cabinet reshuffle was imminent. Well, hundreds of Israeli forces have carried out the deadliest raid in the West Bank since the war began. It comes amid brief pauses in fighting between Hamas and Israel for health officials to administer polio vaccines. Both parents in Gaza and families of hostages held by Hamas are calling for those brief pauses to become a permanent ceasefire deal. Jeff Paul reports from Tel Aviv.
They shout, calling for the release of the hostages, hoping Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu hears their cries. This after 6 Hamas captives were killed in Gaza. Israel's army releasing this video, which it says shows the entrance to the tunnel where the hostages' bodies were found. But as crowds rally, one survivor says their pleas are being ignored.
Bibi Netanyahu killed the hostages. He doesn't even think about the hostages. They are being held in the worst conditions.
And Aviva Siegel would know. She and her husband Keith, an American Israeli, were kidnapped on October 7th. Aviva was freed in November as part of a previous ceasefire deal. Keith is still there.
It just breaks my heart to think about Keith lying there, just trying to figure out if he's going to die now or he's going to die tomorrow.
But Netanyahu says Israel's military pressure and presence is key.
I'll do everything to make sure that Keith and all the other hostages come back. I'm telling you that if we relieve the pressure, if we get out of the Philadelphia corridor, we're not going to get the hostages back.
The Philadelphia corridor, a strip of land between Egypt and Gaza, appears to be standing in the way of a ceasefire deal. Netanyahu says it's how Hamas smuggles weapons in. Hamas and Egypt say Israeli troops must leave.
And I say such a deal will kill us.
The White House, however, remains hopeful an agreement is on the horizon. For Aviva Siegel, a deal can't come soon enough. Her message to President Joe Biden?
I want him to wake up and understand that he needs to bring Keith home alive.
A senior Hamas official says they are ready to listen to a new ceasefire proposal, but haven't received one yet. They continue to blame Netanyahu for the deaths of the 6 hostages and say his actions will only lead to more captives dying.
And that's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Well, taking a look downtown Pittsburgh, you can see a few more cars starting to roll out there. It's getting a little bit earlier in the morning, so people are starting to go to work, go to school, and they're going to be in luck because today's looking pretty clear. Clear skies starting off for most of the day, and temperatures only getting up to upper 80s, low 90s, which is a bit above average for this time of year, but we're starting off pretty cool. About 7 a.m. is our coldest point in the day, so about 62, 63 degrees, low 60s. This is average, but then we're warming up to nearly 80 degrees by about 11 a.m. However, we're going to be mostly sunny all day long. So regardless, it's going to be a pretty nice day today. But like I said, high temperatures getting up to upper 80s, 89, 90 out in Joplin, 90 Iola, Chanute, 91 Sedan, 92 out in Stockton. So nearly everybody is in that 89 to 92 degree range for our highs today. We've also got some rain showers moving in tonight. Very isolated, not widespread, and not a severe threat either, but these showers are along a cold front, and as that front passes, we're going to see a drop in temperatures even further than what they already have been. However, that doesn't happen until after tomorrow morning. So our lows tonight, 68 out in Fort Scott, 70 in Joplin, 69 in Welsh, 68 in Veneta, 71 in Sedan, so still a little bit warmer, but our highs tomorrow only getting up to upper 70s, low 80s. It's going to be much cooler tomorrow and through the rest of the weekend. You can see 82 out in Joplin, 79 in Yates Center and Iola, 81 in Stockton. So definitely much cooler than what we've seen. Those rain showers do start around 9 p.m. tonight and continue all the way until the morning hours on Friday. So those showers till about 11 a.m. We've got isolated showers, like I said, after 9 p.m. tonight. Temperatures dropping down to upper 60s or low 70s across the region, and winds are picking up. Behind the front, we're going to see winds shift out of the north and gusting up to 20-25 miles per hour. So we're going to take a look at that future track. You can see the wind shift line right there. It's a very weak front, so temperatures aren't dropping very drastically. But as these showers do start to move in, you can see an isolated storm or two moving into the Yates Center area. This is about 9 p.m. Then the showers move in, very isolated and not strong at all. They're going to shift off to the east, and then another round of isolated showers form behind the front in the early morning hours on Friday. So this is about 8 a.m. and that continues for an hour or two, so clearing out by about 11 a.m. Then our highs, like I said, only up to the lower 80s, upper 70s. And then you can see winds gusting 20, 25 miles per hour. This is 7 a.m. on Friday, and it continues through most of the day, winds gusting up to 20, 25 miles per hour. So it's going to be a much cooler day and a bit of a windy day. It's going to feel super great tomorrow. We just have to make it past evening showers and warmer temperatures today. You can see Saturday, 79 degrees, overnight low about 51. Sunday, 80 degrees, but then we do have a warm up in the forecast. But that's your look at your forecast. We'll be back right after this.
For your movie news now, here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
The hell? Here's your first look at a Minecraft movie, the live-action adaptation of the massively popular video game. Jason Momoa, Oscar nominee Danielle Brooks, and Jack Black explore the overworld in the adventure, which is due in theaters April 4th.
I'm needed upstairs. Bob, hold down the fort.
It's hard to imagine a Beetlejuice sequel without Michael Keaton, but the star of Beetlejuice had hesitations about following up the 1988 original.
You don't want to ruin it, because it was a little, honestly, and I give Tim the credit for this, it was kind of like a little piece of art that showed up that became iconic, and you don't want to be the dope who comes in and screws that up, so, but once we got going, it was kind of like we did it the week before, we were just making another one.
The juice is loose.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
I'm gonna make you so happy.
Well, Mother Nature wreaks havoc on the open ocean, causing major stress for a pair of sailors. Patrick Cornell has that video, and take a look at this.
This boat being bashed in brazen waters off the coast of Australia is enough to make you seasick, and you're not even on the dang thing. The two people on the yacht, Spirit of Mateship, activated a distress beacon after wild winds knocked out power and communications. Rough seas and crazy waves ruined the original rescue attempt. The couple on board then stranded for a terrifying overnight stay as high waters whipped against the vessel. Hours later, responders sending out this smaller boat once the surf smoothed out to save the couple from that nightmare. Those rescued sailors greeted with a different kind of wave and big hugs from their son as they arrived back in Sydney after the horrifying ordeal. It is safe to assume they're happy to be back on land. The tides washed up another rescue video. In Ohio, a trooper spotted a super small kitten stuck on the side of the interstate. That trooper quickly stopping to go check on the frightened feline, and as you can see, cars are flying by as the cat cowers near the barrier.
Hey, buddy. Come here. It's okay.
But our fearless animal rescuer makes his way over to the cat, who appears eager to get out of there. Good news, the rescued kitty has been treated and can now head to a forever home. And here's something completely different, but still chaotic. Wild winds whipped up this smoke-nado. A camera captured it churning across a cornfield in Alabama. The Nitrate City Volunteer Fire Department says this unique vortex spawned while they were working on getting control of a grass fire. With some extra help and a little rain, they were able to stamp out the smoke-nado and the fire. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
We'll be right back. Well, a fast food chain is getting in on the spooky season spirit with a new line of themed costumes. Chipotle is collaborating with Spirit Halloween to create 5 different Halloween costumes. The $40 bodysuits are meant to represent different elements of Chipotle's dining experience, including black plastic forks, paper napkins, disposable water cups, foil-wrapped burritos, and the Chipotle branded to-go bag. Spirit Halloween will sell the costumes online starting tomorrow. Labor Day has passed, and while you may still have some barbecue left over, today you should set it aside for a different comfort food, cheese pizza. Why? Because today is National Cheese Pizza Day, observed every year on September 5th. Your pie for National Cheese Pizza Day doesn't have to be just the standard mozzarella. You can mix it up with all kinds of varieties: Gouda, Parmesan, Gorgonzola, or even cheddar. Humans have been eating pizza-like dishes for thousands of years. Our modern idea of pizza began with a Neapolitan flatbread pizza topped with mozzarella and buffalo milk. Sounds good.
Well, temperatures are going to remain cool for the weekend today, still getting pretty warm, up to about 89, 90 degrees. But we do have evening showers tonight, very isolated showers that are moving in after 9 p.m. It's along a front, a cold front, very weak cold front, but will be dropping temperatures nearly 10 degrees for the weekend. So tomorrow, high of about 82 degrees. Saturday, 79 degrees, Sunday, 80 degrees. However, as we move into next week, we do see a ridge forming and a slight warm up in the forecast, getting to the mid to lower 90s by next weekend. We'll be back with more news after this.